Good to see y'all. Y'all kind of parted the waters tonight for some reason, left a big gap in the middle. But good to see y'all tonight. Welcome to our July SongwriterTX. It's good to have. We're dry. Was it raining out there when y'all came in? No? Looking like it's gonna be. Yeah. My brother, Dr. Doppler, is sending me messages of warning. So we'll stay nice and dry in here, unless y'all were here last month. We might see the bucket out tonight again. But welcome. Hey, for those of y'all listening beyond the theater here, there's folks who are listening right now on 99.1 The Buck. Thank y'all for tuning in. You can continue to listen. We're at SongwriterTX down here at the RockBox Theater, like we do every second Wednesday of the month down here to have a good time and stay dry tonight. So welcome to the airwaves, or welcome to the theater. Y'all ready to have a good time tonight? Cool. Love it. Good to see y'all. Good to see all the familiar faces and new faces as well. How many return guests of SongwriterTX do we have here tonight? Very good. Quite a few of y'all. If you're a first-time SongwriterTX rookie, raise your hand. Don't worry, we're not going to make people greet you like they do at church or nothing like that. Just wanted to see the numbers. So my name is Brent Ryan, and I get to host this wonderful event. I've gotten to do it for a long time. But I'm the least important person here. I want to say right off the bat, thank yous to Jam Broadcasting, our friends Justin and Cody. You're back there from 99.1 The Buck. Those guys rolled in from Kerrville tonight, and let me tell you, they have had a deal. So they are here resting a little bit and happy to be with us. But man, tonight might be a night for hugs, for some of us, because they've been in Kerrville and have seen a lot. Let me tell you. So. We're here to unplug a little bit, but I know some of us still have heavy hearts, and we're gonna for a while. So I just want to recognize that right off the bat. But thank you to Jam Broadcasting for being here tonight, even amidst all of the hard work that y'all are doing over there in Kerrville. Also, thank you FBG Live. They're hanging out with us here and filming the event right now. So you get to be part of history right here in the RockBox Theater. Boone, did I introduce you already? Boone?
I think you said something.
Boone over there? Yeah.
I don't know, man. Hi, everybody.
There's Boone.
How y'all doing? Good to see y'all.
There's Boone over there.
Who is that?
Yeah, who's Boone? We have two wonderful guests tonight. Right to my left over here is Jessee Lee. Jessee Lee is with us here this evening.
Thanks for having me.
Jessee, we've been so pumped to have you, and so I can't wait to hear your songs. I get to hear the sound checks before you guys even get let into the theater, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is going to be good tonight. So I know it's going to be good tonight. So Jessee, thank you for coming out tonight. Where do you come from? Where do you live? You live local.
Yeah, I'm not too far. I traded my 4-bedroom home for a 40-foot motor home, so we're kind of all over the hill country right now. But we're in like Canyon Lake area right now.
Well, I noticed when I called you have an 830, and that's more than most people have. So, yeah. So that means something, Weston rips right there next to her between Jessee and Boone. So Boone kind of brought in Weston, who's, by the way, got the coolest name in all of music industry. Also really good for some fart jokes, too, But yeah, I had to say that. That's where my mind is, y'all. But we are so thrilled to have. I got to hear Weston also during the sound check. Man, y'all are in for a night tonight of good music. I want to say a big, huge thank you to our sponsor for the show, Mike Starks, and the good-looking man right here. He finally joined us tonight.
Yeah,
so,
Mike, thank you for being here, Mike.
Mike, what brought you into sponsoring this show? Well, Brent, I just really love what you guys are doing over there at the RockBox Theater, and want to do everything I could to support y'all. Well, we thank you, Mike, for being part of our show, and we got some of his office folks to bring that in for me today.
I love your shirt,
really,
Mike, by the way. Nice shirt.
Mike Starks has sponsored the show and allows us to keep this show going for y'all for free. We really appreciate his help and everything he's done. Any of your real estate needs, commercial, residential, ranch, whatever, MikeStarks.com. Check it out. He's with Remax, Hill Country Remax here in Kerrville. Check him out if y'all need any real estate service, buying, selling, or whatever. Or you could talk to his staffers are kind of lingering around here tonight. So let's get the show going, huh? Y'all want to hear some music tonight, or y'all want to hear me talk a little bit more? So we'll kick things off with a round. Usually, first round, I don't have any kind of crazy question. I just want y'all to introduce yourselves, who you are, a little bit, and maybe say how you got into music, and
Sure, yeah.
and then play a tune. And I don't really care which one of you starts. I like to watch y'all fight over it. So. That's my entertainment. Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, like you said, my name is Jessee Lee. I'm originally from a little town outside of Nashville, Tennessee, and grew up there most of my life. My father was a singer-songwriter. That was his job my entire life, so I was kind of grew up around it, and almost like osmosis. It seeped into what I do, and so yeah, I've been doing music for full-time for about the past 4 years, but I've been writing songs and singing since I was about 6 years old. And yeah, so I'm going to play you guys a song that I actually wrote with my dad. I think we all turn into our mamas in some way or another, whether we want to or not is the question. But I remember I used to judge my mom because she wore muumuus all the time. And one year, I think it was my grandma got me a muumuu. And I was like, what am I going to do with this? And boy, I put that thing on, and I became my mama, and I decided that I guess we all turn into her. So I wrote this song. She grinds your gears and wrecks your nerves. It's bad enough you gotta look like her. She gave you life, but she won't let you breathe. She plans your dates and runs your life. She's threatened you with that kitchen knife. And truth is, you know, crazy as she sings, you're gonna be your mama, even if you don't wanna. Yeah, you're gonna walk like her and talk like her and learn to make a mean lasagna. You're gonna wake one day and lead the PTA. Stick the car seat in the Honda. You're gonna be your mama. You're gonna live and learn, crash and burn. You're gonna figure out how this big ball turns when you feel gravity come creeping in. You're gonna ditch that thong, maybe cut your hair. Someday you're gonna find yourself standing there, and she'll be in that mirror you're looking in. You're gonna be your mama, even if you don't wanna. Yeah, you're gonna walk like her and talk like her and cause a lot of midlife drama. You're gonna drink red wine, boy, and wrinkle around your eyes. Try the Botox if you wanna, but you're gonna be your mama. Yes, you will. You're gonna be your mama, even if you don't wanna be. Yeah, you're gonna walk like her and talk like her and cause a lot of midlife drama. You're gonna drink red wine, Lord, and wrinkle around your eyes. Spend the whole day in your pajamas. Take a trip down to Tijuana just to taste them pina coladas. Whoa, you're gonna be your mama. Yes, you will. Dun, 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 dun. You're gonna be your mama. Thank you. Thank you very much.
I don't know what a muumuu is, but now I want one. Now I want one.
We can probably ship you a muumuu.
I would take a picture at least. You know, that is funny.
I can tell you, Boone. Yes, you do. You definitely,
Yeah, no,
definitely
I would.
want
I would wear it.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
probably
And
wear
you probably will next month. So, yeah,
it.
man.
Muumuu.
Man, that was a great tune. Yeah.
That was
Thank
so
you.
great.
Giving that guitar a workout too. So
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. Weston, what about you, man? Tell us a little bit about where you dropped in from.
Well, I got to start off with when she started that. I'm like, is this true for men too? Am I going to turn into my mama?
You want to turn to your daddy?
And then the other day, you know, I was in the kitchen and grabbed the wooden spoon and was like, don't make me use the wooden spoon on you. I think it is true.
Yeah.
So I'm Weston Rips. I'm from Castroville, Texas, just down south from here. Anybody been to Castroville? Yeah, I wanted to get away from it, and then when I got away from it, I'm like, man, that place is awesome. I need to go back. I think everybody kind of does that around that age, college age and whatnot. But as far as music goes, I started as a drummer. No one in my family really played anything. My parents listened to music, a lot of 70s folk and stuff like that, a lot of Jim Croce around the house growing up, and 90s country for sure. And I was obsessed with Garth Brooks as a child at the age of 9, 10, 11, and dressed up as him for Halloween. I tell that story here and there, and then usually play a Garth song, but I'm not doing that today. But I started trying to write songs at that age, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I would write these wannabe songs, and my brothers would make fun of me, and years go down the road, and one of my brothers ended up being in a rock band with me. I started playing drums at a young age, and we played all around Texas early 2000s, and played with a lot of touring national acts, did a lot of really cool stuff, but I was writing songs from the drum set at the time. And this first song I'm gonna play is kind of a transition, because after that I became a teacher. I went the long route of being a songwriter. I was a teacher in San Antonio ISD for 7 years, and was supposed to be, I had a music degree, I was supposed to be a music teacher, but they were laying off teachers at the time, so I accepted whatever they had, and that was pre-K. And it was actually really good. I taught everything from pre-K through 4th grade, and then I graduated with my master's in educational administration. My wife and I had our first child, and I resigned. And that was being pushed to be a principal and all those good things, but life is way better. I saw things in a new way. But this, I started in 2015 doing music full-time. I was writing songs for TV shows, ads, and film, and had some successes on some TV shows and stuff like that. But those songs I'm not going to play for you, because I wrote those for someone else. But this song was the transition of me moving back into writing for myself. And this is where I was in life at that time. This is when I wrote, probably 2017. It's called Hope That's All Right. I get so tired of all the things in the way. Why is it so hard to enjoy the little things? Craziness was not part of the plan. Misdiagnosed when our love first began. 3 kids, our hands are full, and Lord knows we're thankful, but we need some time alone to take it all in. Baby, let's go take a drive. All I need is you by my side. One hand on the wheel, one on your thigh. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Hope that's alright. We could head up that busy 35, stopping green and do the night ride. Or take 37 south until it ends. Stick our feet in the sand, watch the waves roll in. They say it's temporary, I say it's necessary that we get some time alone to take it all in. Baby, let's go take a drive. All I need is you by my side. One hand on the wheel, one on your thigh. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Hope that's alright. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Hope that's alright. is you by my side. One hand on the wheel, one on your thigh. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Baby, let's go take a drive. All I need is you by my side. One hand on the wheel, one on your thigh. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Hope that's alright. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Hope that's alright. Don't know where we're going, hope that's alright. Baby, let's go take a drive. All I need is you by my side.
That made me want to go take a ride.
Cool, man. What a great start. I have a question that rolled through my brain. I told Jesse was asking me how we do the show at the beginning. I was like, I don't know, man. I just figure it out as we go. I don't know what I'm going to ask y'all, but I'm always looking for little moments of like, oh, that sounds like something that's worth talking about with these folks. Well, given the fact that we're coming out of the weekend with this tragic situation out of Kirk County and surrounding areas and stuff like that, that obviously is weighing on a lot of us. But for musicians, it's like immediately they were put into action, like how many benefit concerts can we have, and a lot of musicians immediately getting wrangled into events here, whether they're small, big, whatever. Where I'm going with this is that, as musicians, we have a very unique service to the world, I think. And, during COVID, we weren't deemed as essential, but at the same time, I think people gained a much more deep appreciation for live music when they were able to get it back. Yeah. It's like, man, it's pretty dang essential. We need this kind of thing in our lives. And I went to, and I appreciate the clap, I went to the dance hall night here in Fredericksburg on Saturday night. I wondered if they were going to have it, because everything was so heavy. And yet people needed to get out and dance, So where I'm going is with this question is, for y'all as musicians, how do you tap into, aside from the, I have to create because I have to create, that's who I am, or I need to do this as a living, I need to make money. Those things are part of the business. But how do you tap into the part where you feel like you have value to the world? Like, what does that look like for you?
Go for it.
Yeah. Well, for me, so originally, actually, I wanted to be a Navy nurse. That was I grew up doing music. Like I said earlier, my dad was a musician, but I always felt like being an artist was kind of a self-centered job because, you're promoting yourself, you're taking pictures of yourself. Everything is about me, me, me. And I moved back to Texas. I've been back and forth a lot between Nashville, but I moved back to Texas a few years ago, and I started working with this program called Operation Song. And so basically what we do is, I don't know how many of y'all have been out to Bandera, but there's this rehab facility called Warrior's Heart, and they rehabilitate veterans that have PTSD, and it's most of them, when they come back, they've endured, so much trauma, they have so much PTSD, and oftentimes they'll go to alcohol or drugs to cope. So they're getting sober there. So basically what Operation Song does is we go in, we get paired with a veteran, and we spend a whole day with them, and they tell us their story from their childhood to what happened in the military to why they're in rehab now. And our whole job is to take their story and turn it into a song, and give them a song that when they're having, a rough day, that they get to listen to it, and it maybe takes them back to that better headspace that they were in the latter part of their rehab. So that's probably been the best thing that I've been able to do with my music is, give somebody something to listen to whenever, they need it.
In asking the question, I was actually expected a much more like ethereal answer than that. I mean, that's very like practical. I mean, you've seen firsthand then that like a song can really be something healing to
Absolutely,
somebody. So,
yeah. Or you think about someone going through a divorce or going through anything in their life. It's, oftentimes we cling to music to make us feel like somebody else has been through this before, and there's an emotion that connects to it with music. So yeah, I think music can be very healing.
Yeah, I love it.
It really is a selfish place. I mean, it all comes from within in that way, and the way you're feeling, the way you want to get things out. But yeah, in the end, I believe the more selfish you are in the beginning with it, the more it's going to appeal to everyone else, that they can relate to you in that way, and that they're not alone in those situations.
It's like journaling. But
Right. And those opportunities like that you're talking about, they come about often where, you're up. It's a challenge too, because you're on the spot and you're, okay, now I'm going to do this. But sometimes, I like deadlines. That's why I liked writing for TV shows. Is a publisher needed something and they're like, we need it like this style. All right, let me go to town, and I have a deadline. And but the same way I did an instrumental for a hospice center, and that alone, I'm like, oh man, that's the last thing some people might hear is my instrumental, that they made like 10,000 CDs of this that
wow.
Is just out there for them to use. And there's a lot of really good places for music.
Yeah.
I don't know what a deadline is either, so I'm gonna need a notebook.
Sorry, we made it all dark.
I'm gonna need a moo deadline. I'm gonna
on your
search these
when-
things. Search them. No.
Boone is the co-host of the show for recovery purposes. We're trying to get him
just being honest.
to the next level,
Just being honest.
No, those are great answers,
Yeah,
and we've all had those moments where, as performers, I think somebody comes up and sometimes it's unexpected. You're like, what, really? But somebody's like, man, that song really meant a lot to me or touched me in some kind of way. And it happens a lot here at SongwriterTX, and so that's part of what we love about this kind of setting for that. So, anyways, appreciate those answers, and let's get you another round, huh?
Yeah, for sure. Well, I have a new album coming out this. I keep saying this summer, but I guess this summer we only got a couple more months, so it might be this fall. But this is called Wickedest Witch of West Texas, and I'm a huge Jim Croce fan, and I wanted to write something that was kind of bizarre and out there. A lot of his stuff is real crazy imagery, so I ended up writing this little song, and this is going to be the title track to it.
She saw that witch and it nearly made her whole head spin. She
the wickedest witch on West Texas, wickedest witch, the wickedest witch. Somebody's always better than the best. Ooh. Yes, she is. Thank you so much. Thank you.
That's great.
You did not need my help getting dark on that one.
Yeah, it's great.
It's a theme.
Every songwriter's got a little bit of that in them, though. You know? So yeah, so very good.
That is really
great
good.
song, man. Great song.
Thank you very much.
I heard that at a Meritopia. You played that song.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
it stuck out then too. Really
Oh,
nice.
thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, it's my
Yeah.
more rockin'
Yeah.
vibe.
Well, when you go to Nashville, okay, and they're nice people, and they tell you to do all these things, just remember, just keep doing what you're doing. Don't listen
Thanks.
to them.
I appreciate that.
That's great.
You got it. All right, Weston, man, you get that second song there, buddy.
Alrighty. I just gotta say, I could definitely hear that Jim Croce style of writing.
There you go, yeah.
It's like that bad Leroy Brown, you know,
Yeah.
describing the
Yeah.
person the way he did. That's cool.
Yeah,
I
thanks.
really liked it. Just from our previous conversation, I'm gonna play this song next, and I wrote this one. It actually came out of a brief that a publisher wanted. They wanted a happy take on a passing of a loved one, and I started writing this song. I didn't meet the deadline, even though that gas tank was on empty. I ran out, you know, even with that deadline. But anyways, years went by. Yeah. But years went by, and literally the moment that this song came back to my mind again was I was a pallbearer for my grandma's funeral. She passed away in 2020. She lived to be 92, you know, long life, so great things. But, you know, carrying a casket out with your brothers and family members, and you're the first one to walk out of a Catholic church, and these bells just, and, you know, St. Louis Catholic Church in Castroville is just has a big old bell up top there, and that thing rings, and you're walking out, and the only sounds you hear are people sobbing in that bell. It's kind of a one-time thing, you know, where very few, you know, those things don't happen, but they carry. And that song hit me, and I'm like, I'm gonna finish that. So I literally went and wrote it the next day. The song is called From the Stars. So it came to this, the one I never wanted to miss. I could give away my life today, but I don't feel the need, 'cause I have your memories, and I had your love. I know you're happy, watching from the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up, and I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. So leave me a trail when I go, so I can find you. Through the pain, I'll find my way. No, I don't need to hurt, 'cause I have your memories, and I had your love. I know you're happy, watching from the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up, I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. Oh, I know you're watching over me, watching over me, so I can keep moving on. You're watching over me, you're watching over me, so I can keep. I have your memories, and I had your love, and I know you're happy, watching from the the stars above. When life feels empty, I just look up and I feel you with me, watching from the stars above. Oh, I feel you with me, watching from the stars above.
Very nice.
Thank you.
I'm going to kick the next question to Boone, but I do want to say real quick, as I have to get through the list of things that I have to say, but we are still looking for sponsorship for the show. As a matter of fact, this is the last show that we actually have paid for, so we could really use any help. So we just filed 501c3, and we have an EIN number, and so the good news is any donations that come now to SongwriterTX of significance are a tax-free donation now. So I'm just pitching out there, any business owners, or if you know a business owner, you think somebody would like to be a supporter of the show, they get to have this kind of publicity right here. And no, we actually have a really good package for marketing that includes radio and a little bit of a lot of being blasted out through RockBox material, which is pretty broad. So. And it's pretty affordable, but we're looking for folks who could support the show for as low as a couple $100 a month. So if you would like to be a help to that, please just see me or like KK or Boone after the show.
I was going to say anyone but Boone.
Boone's getting better at this than he thinks he is, but no, we really could use the help, and we're going to keep going one way or the other. So don't worry about that. We're going to keep doing the show for y'all, but we really would like to build it through those means. So. And also grant opportunities. That's something we're looking for. That was one of the reasons we did the 501c3. So if you're aware of any grant funds out there that we don't know about, which is all of them, we don't know about any of them. So, let me know as well. So because we want to just do whatever we can to keep bringing this show to y'all and building it for y'all out of the love that we have for it. So with that, I'm going to kick questions to Boone. I'm sure you got stuff you'd like to ask these fine musicians.
I do know a Grant. I just can't remember his last name.
Why do I keep this guy around?
I'm just kidding. But I was thinking about it. So this is sort of interesting. I don't think I've asked this, but when COVID happened and everything went awry for us as musicians for a while, what happened? Did y'all have any interesting stories? Like, where did your careers take a turn there? What did you do at that time during COVID?
I had just moved to Nashville, Tennessee, and I think I was in town for like 3 or 4 months, and then all the COVID stuff happened, and thank God I had just gotten this little bartending job, and the guy that owned it was crazy, and he was like, we're going to stay open no matter what. We're blacking out these curtains. So it became like a speakeasy. And I was like, we had to like secretly bartend, and we'd have these like little tiny private concerts. But it was really cool because at the time, all the big artists were still looking for places to play because everything was shut down. So we would have these like 20 people in there, and like Ashley McBryde would be playing, or like Sierra Farrell would come in and play like every Tuesday. And
that's cool.
So it was really cool. I mean, it was a weird time to be there, but yeah, I just slung drinks through the whole thing.
Were you able to like do any house concerts? Did you play at all live through that time?
Not as much. I mean, I did like Facebook Lives where people would, request and do all that stuff. But yeah, for the most part, I mean, since I was in Tennessee, it was real strict being there. Actually, that was one of the reasons that I ended up coming back to Texas. Was it was more open here, and people were still kind of doing some stuff, but yeah, it was a crazy time for sure.
It was like a speak not so easy here,
Right. What about you?
So for me, I don't know how to say this in a good way or make it sound good, but it was great. I mean, there were a lot of really good things out of it that I look back and like, man, we didn't know how good it was. But I had little kids, little ones at the time, and I was able to just enjoy them even more. So I can't look back on that and hate being home every day for over a year straight. It wasn't, in the moment though, we just got done. I have 3 little boys, and they're not little anymore, but 11, 8, 7. And my 7 and 8-year-old are only 13 months apart. I'll get to that later. I got a song for that one. But at the time, they were babies, and gosh, we hopped in the RV and got away that way, and we don't call that vacation. My brother-in-law calls it. It's funny. We joke. It's a trip. A vacation, the kids don't go. You know, if you're taking the kids, it's a trip. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot. But we did a lot of trips in the RV, and we did stuff at home. But as far as work went, that was a big shift, because a lot of the publishers I was working on, TV, ad, and film, they just went under. I mean, a lot of publishers were selling their businesses, selling their music catalogs. At the time, I was writing a lot of songs for a good 2 of them. One of them went out of business, and then they started pitching my songs to stuff I never intended for them to be pitched to, and it just was kind of it was a direction shift for me, because I haven't been doing that kind of work anymore, you know, with my songs. And it brought me here more in this direction, so it's kind of a good thing. Mm-hmm. But I did Facebook Live, and it was the first time it felt like anybody knew I was on Facebook. And it became kind of a little thing in my hometown. I feel like it was like a big reunion every time I did it. I started doing it every week, same time.
And people were so supportive.
Awesome. Yeah. I don't think I could log on right now. I'm just afraid to do that and see 1 view. You know,
and two dislikes. What is happening? That twins or what's going on?
Maybe that's when they did away with the dislike. Was that?
Yeah, right. I remember one time I played this gig right in the heart of it all, where I was playing to a parking lot and everybody was in their cars.
I did the same thing in Hondo for a grand opening of a business. I was like, this is not going to go well.
I felt like I was Lightning McQueen, dude. I was like,
people drove up like they were in a drive-in, and I'm just like, oh, this is kind of cool. Headlights on me.
Yeah, I got some honks for sure.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if this was Mardi Gras.
No honks tonight, y'all. No honks tonight.
Yeah, that's funny. And you did actually, Weston. You had like an album concept around 2020, right? Like before it happened.
My 2020 EP was coming out, and it was 20/XX, and there's a story to the X's that people don't ask me enough about. But
so it's basically your fault.
It was my fault. I had a 2020 album coming out. I thought I was being creative with this, and but there were a lot of other things called 2020 that year apparently. But I had a song for it and everything, but I had my release party scheduled. I did it way out. I had a Kickstarter campaign. I did the works. It was ready to go. I had the date set up. I had opening acts. I was ready to go to have a CD release party, and we had to cancel it. Yeah. So
I'll tell you what, God works in mysterious ways, and like now, hindsight, it's 2020, no pun intended, but really, I mean, it's like life takes you where you need to go if you're open enough to feel it and let it happen. I truly believe that. Sometimes it's not the route you want to take to get there, but.
And that was kind of the theme of the song. It's in the rear view, it's always clear. It's foggy in front of you, you can't see, but behind you is very clear in 2020. But yeah, I wasn't planning on playing that song tonight.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not making you at all. It was the question I had, and it was a moment in my life where, not just in like my music life, but in my life, that just, looking back on it now, it reshifts everything at any moment. Everything can shift, and sometimes sharper than others. Sometimes those shifts are long curves, and sometimes they're very sharp.
Right.
But that was definitely that was a little of both, but
yep.
I just felt like y'all had an interesting story. Y'all both did. So thank you.
Absolutely. Good. Well, I assume you got more songs. Y'all know more than 2.
I would be in trouble if I didn't. I'm going to do this one. This is a song that I wrote because I remember when I was younger, I didn't get to see my grandpa a whole lot, but every time I did get to see him, he'd always give me, a chunk of knowledge that I would think about for about the whole year. And one time he told me this old Cherokee wives' tale. There's a black wolf and a white wolf that wars in our soul, and we choose which one that we want to feed. And when I was 21, I was definitely giving the black wolf a little bit too much food. And so I decided to write this song one day, thinking about his conversation with me. There's a black wolf and a white wolf warring in my soul. My grandpa warned me about this a long time ago. One's right and one's wrong, so which do you choose to feed? The black wolf is a devil in the bottom of a glass. It's the brownie on the table when you know you're getting fat. The lie on your tongue that tastes sweeter than the truth. Yes, I try to be good, I try to be strong, but I'm only human. I sometimes fall, I try to feed the white wolf plenty, but in the backyard looking skinny is that old hellhound. Why do I always keep that black wolf hanging around? He ain't one to take to mama or to church on Sunday morning. I think he got a tattoo on the day that he was born. We've been over together, over and together again and again. I know we ain't forever, but I'm sure having fun till he hops up on his Harley, and I'm heartbroken when we're done. So I'll soak up his smile and laugh like a child till then, yeah. I try to be good, I try to be strong, but I'm only human. I sometimes fall, I try to feed the white wolf plenty, but in the backyard looking skinny is that old hellhound. Why do I always keep that black wolf hanging around? All right, here's my trumpet solo, y'all. Strong, but I'm only a human and I sometimes fall. Trying to feed the white wolf plenty, in the backyard looking skinny is that old hellhound. Why do I always, why do I always, no, 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 why do I always keep that black wolf hanging around? Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That's great. Very good. You know, I love this. I love listening to music. It's just great.
Thank you.
Original
I'm enjoying
music
this
is
so
good.
much.
We need a little tune-up on the trumpet, just a little bit.
Yeah, it's a little flat. Well, you know, I went down from a 5-piece band to a trio, and it was just me and a bass player and a drummer, so I didn't have a guitar player for a while, so I got real good at whistling and real good at the mouth trumpet.
I wasn't expecting it. It rolled in there. It was awesome. Yeah.
It's good placement. Nice timing. Great for the song. Great
Thank you.
instrumentation for the song.
I'll let the trumpet guy know.
Yeah, and thank you all for being here too. I love sharing these moments with y'all. It's much better shared with other people. I know that. You know, we could sit here and play songs to each other all the time in song circles, but it's so great to have people that love music
Oh,
too.
yeah.
You know, really, it truly is. Do y'all agree?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
Absolutely.
What you got, Weston? Yeah, you're looking at me. You're good.
I promise I won't make you cry this time. At least not sad tears. Those were supposed to be happy tears on that last song.
It's happy
It
tears.
really was meant to be a good song.
Happy tears.
Positive. But no, this one is a love song I wrote. I wanted to use my wife's name in a song, and I had this idea one night when we were going to bed, and she fell asleep way before me, and just next to our bed we have this picture of us super young that I took, like I'm pretending to sleep and she's sleeping, and it's just right there. And it's funny because I could go and it was when we first started dating, which was like 20 years ago almost, and I'm trying to think the order of this, but I wanted to write this song. I had these thoughts that night of like when we first started dating and how awkward it was because we were both right around 20 years old. We had curfew still. We lived at home. I was home, from college. She was living at home during college, and we weren't allowed to stay at each other's houses, and that was kind of an awkward stage. And I thought, I had this idea, to write about it. And many nights where, she had a curfew, I wasn't allowed to have her over, and, we're watching a movie, we fall asleep, we wake up, it's like 3, 4 a.m. Oh, crap, we gotta get going, your dad's gonna wake up soon, and we're gonna be in trouble, whatever. But really, that's where this song came from. Now, the trouble with this song with writing it was her name's Melissa. And there's a great song called Sweet Melissa, right? There's a couple of good Melissa songs. So I had to be extra creative on this one. I'm sorry guys, I can't go out tonight. I wish I could, never mind, I really don't. I wonder what they think if I told them the truth. I wanna lay with you for hours. How can I explain that nothing we do feels like everything when I hold you? Melissa, don't wake up. You'll say that it's time to take you home. Melissa, I want you to know I'll be your home. I'm late for class, late for work again. I let the guys in the band down, I canceled on them. No wonder all those things felt like a bench at a train stop, sitting there waiting for you to walk off of. How can I compare those uncertainties to the dreams I see as I'm watching you sleep? Melissa, don't wake up. You say that it's time to take you home. Melissa, I want you to know I'll be your home. Melissa, please wake up so I can tell you about the dreams of our home. All my life, all my love, Melissa. All my life, all my love, Melissa. Thank you.
Good stuff.
Man, killing it on that thing.
That was great. That's great. We'll do one more round here before we do a little intermission, and I have a couple. I'm going to customize a question for you. This is Boone's thing. I usually just ask one, but I got separate questions for you. So Jessee, you grew up in a musical family in around Nashville. By the way, her dad is David Lee. Has anybody ever seen David Lee perform around here? Obviously your dad, you know, he's had some success in the songwriting world. What was it like for you? How has it shaped your music? Like, did y'all, as you were getting into songwriting and stuff, did you let him critique you, like as a guy who's been in songwriting rooms doing the publishing thing? Was there a dialogue back and forth? Did he kind of let you just do your thing?
Oh no, my dad is he was like a Nazi. He was real hard on my stuff, but in the best way. When I was younger, I would get so excited because I would write something, and then I would write like half of a song. I might get a verse and a chorus, and I'd run to my dad and say, "Hey, what do you think about this?" And he'd be like, "Where are the pictures? I can't see it. You got to have nouns and verbs, and or no, that's been said a million times. Can you find a different way to say that?" When I was little, and I think maybe just who I am. If somebody tells me no, it makes me want to come back and do it better. And so I attribute, all of I mean, I don't feel like I know anything, but any of the knowledge that I do have, I definitely attribute to growing up with him. And yeah, he was so wonderful. And then into my adulthood, he's been my favorite songwriting partner. And now we're at a place where, now that I'm older and I've been doing it for as long as I have, now I can look at him and say, Dad, that doesn't really sound like a good picture.
Yeah.
I can kind of go back and forth with him on it.
Yeah.
And so yeah, he definitely shaped a lot of who I was. And then, it's funny, he hated listening to country music when he'd get home, because he said when he would, he was thinking about country music all day long and writing it. So when he'd get home, we listened to a lot of jazz music and blues music. And so I think a lot of, my music has kind of a tinge of some of the, Billie Holiday and Etta James. And yeah.
Super cool.
Yeah, so it kind of just all came together.
Very cool. Well, I was curious to hear those dynamics. That had to be interesting. I've gotten to interview David, and the only reason David hasn't been a guest on SongwriterTX is because he has a Wednesday night songwriter show that he hosts, and so we're gonna have to swap sometime. We'll have to swap roles or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I got to interview David a couple years ago for a newspaper story, and he said that Jessee Lee was his favorite songwriter. So.
Well, he's mine. He's my favorite. Speaking of, I'll do a song that I wrote for him. So, how many girl dads do we have out there?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so I feel like, daddy's girls are. I'm real close to my mama, but when I was a little kid, my dad was my whole world, and so I remember when I think about my dad, I think about him around the age of 35. And he had real coal black hair, and he'd get real mad watching the Cowboy game and be spitting his Copenhagen, screaming. And I have, those kind of memories burned into my brain. And so I sat down one day and I was thinking, he's always, never wanted me to grow up, but I don't want him to grow up either. And so I wrote this song. This is called Forever 35. Because when I think about him, that's the age he is in my brain. You've been turning in awful early. Your midnight oil ain't burning. You got a little more salt than pepper every time that I come home. There's another new line on your face. I probably put a few there in the 10th grade. When time flies, man, it sure is gone. I know you're my old man, but I don't want to see you get old, man. I wish I could slow times roll, but I know that it's out of my hands. I'll always be a Sunday sundress, dragging that purse round everywhere I went. I'm daddy's little girl in your eyes, but in mine you're forever 35. I can see you on the couch cussing them Cowboys, on the soccer sideline with the loud boys, Copenhagen dipping and drive deep, picking at the Broken Spoke Saloon. Back before you started heading over that hill, you'd work all day and never need an Advil. I've been reminiscing about the Saturdays sitting on your lap watching cartoons. I know you're my old man, but I don't want to see you get old, man. I wish I could slow times roll, but I know that it's out of my hands. I'll always be a Sunday sundress, dragging that purse round everywhere I went. I'm daddy's little girl in your eyes, but in mine. We're taking that trip to the bluegrass state, dropping that line in Kentucky Lake. When I close my eyes, I still see it. If I could freeze time, that's where I'd freeze it. know you're my old man, but I don't want to see you get old, man. I wish I could slow times roll, but I know that it's out of my hands. I'll always be a Sunday sundress, dragging that purse round everywhere I went. I'm daddy's little girl in your eyes, but in mine you're forever 35. Forever 35. You've been turning in awful early. Your midnight oil ain't burning. You got a little more salt than pepper every time that I come home. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Jessee, is that going on the new album?
No, you know, I for some reason I haven't wanted to record it because forever I was like, I think it's too personal. And then as I've played it over the years, other people have really connected. So
Yeah, I love that song.
Thank you.
Is it too personal, y'all? Should you put it away?
Well, it is. That's the whole thing.
That's exactly.
Yeah,
That's what we love.
made it personal to us as
That's
well.
what we
Well,
love.
really
thanks.
great.
I know maybe one day, maybe the next album.
Well, you painted a good picture. I
Thank
think
you.
I had my first and only child at 43, so I'm like, man, I wish.
Forever
35.
45.
We can adjust it a little bit, right?
Yeah, but no pepper really, right? I mean, no salt.
Not
No
at all,
salt.
not at all, not
Yeah.
at all. So Weston, here's my custom question for you real quick. You talked about the movie industry. And I think it's real interesting because we've had some songwriters on the show that have done music for TVs and movies and stuff like that. But they were often usually kind of like in the Nashville scene and they sort of spread out into that. I would love to hear the journey of how you kind of got into that line of the business. Now, and I say that, you've played some beautiful tunes tonight, and when you're playing those tunes, for some reason, it makes me see a movie in my head. So it must be something to the style that you have, but I'd love to hear why that is sort of what part of the industry kind of got you.
So back in our funk rock band, I'm surprised I haven't had to talk about that yet, but we were a 3-piece funk rock band. I played drums, I set up in the front, and I sang. I was the lead singer and drummer in that group, and my brother played a slap-heavy bass, and we had a best friend that played guitar, and we had kind of a West Coast sound, so we didn't fit in too well around here. When we did play, we played with some great bands. Bowling for Soup, we played with many times back then, and there were a lot of other great rock bands that we got to play with. But back then, we cut our first album when I was 19, and I was I was really into, like, before the Marvel stuff started, they came out with the first Spider-Man movie with that one with Tobey Maguire,
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, the little kid in me was like so excited. I was like 18, I think, when that movie came out, or 17 or so. And so they were gonna come out with the Spider-Man 2, and we had just recorded our first album. And I was like, how can I get this song? We had a song on there. How can I pitch this to them? How can I get this on the Spider-Man 2 or 3, whatever was coming out, movie? Like, what can I do? And I started heavily researching that as a teenager, and found a few avenues that I later went back to when I thought, and from that moment on, I was like, okay, I got to be able to, I couldn't get it to work. I couldn't get it to the right people. It was impossible, without having the connections, but I looked into it. And back then, the internet was not like it is now. You couldn't reach out to just anybody. Not everybody had their phone number online or email or any of that. So you had to reach out to a direct, I made a bunch of cold calls and couldn't make it happen. But from that moment, I was like, I bet I could, like, record myself. And I was kind of turning into a multi-instrumentalist. And I thought, I bet I could, like, I would love to write my own songs and, like, put them in TV ad, and I started to see that was like an up-and-coming thing at the time. But it took me a lot longer. I fell into the whole teaching degree. I talked into the teaching career that I was talking about, and I built a home studio over the years, but it took me a lot longer than I thought, and I built the whole thing. I have a book my wife made with all the pictures. I built the entire thing on my own. It's just a one-room studio, but Boone's been there.
Oh yeah.
I tracked one of his songs, and it's just a small thing, but I got better and better at doing what I do there, producing and stuff, and I started making connections and just hustling. I would stay up. I pulled all-nighters to meet deadlines for a publisher who needed a song now.
Yeah.
And so that really, when I was hustling like that, it really put me through the because it was a popular industry. Everyone and their dog had a home studio to start recording. Yeah. But not everyone could sound like a full real band. They sound electronic or they sound this. So I did a lot of rock and roll tunes that got played. Some got placed and got into stuff, but it was a lot of me just all-nighters. Yeah. I literally, my most successful songs on that, I wrote in 6 hours, fully produced, and sent them on, and there they are. And it worked.
Yeah.
that's how that worked out for me. So
Do you just let them go after that? Or do you hang on to any of those, or do you just let them?
oh, they're mine. They just have the publishing for
well,
that.
I mean, like,
and
do you like play them? Like,
Oh,
live? Like, do they carry on with you? Do they have any weight to you?
I love the stories and like that, like how there's one song in particular is the one that was on like Shameless, like 4 different episodes, and that song, you can go stream that on my stuff. It's called Get You Some. I have a T-shirt with the title on it. That stuck with me, but I can't recreate it very well acoustically. I've tried, and it just doesn't. It's such a rock and roll song, and it's not very like the other stuff I play are real to me, and that's just more of I could tell the story of that writing it, but the song itself, it's not like a good song. It just fit their need. That's the trick. And the people who have songs already and people hear it, they're like, I need that. Where this is, I had to write for a need. It's way different.
Yeah, that's tough.
It's a different route of writing.
No, I appreciate you sharing that because
Yeah.
I didn't know much about that
Yeah.
side of the industry. It's interesting to hear how you kind of worked your way into it. But let's get you one more song out of you, and then we're gonna do an intermission for these folks. And I have something I want to tell you about real quick after he's done as well. So let's roll that out real quick here, and man, love to hear it.
Yeah, and I'm sorry I got to keep bringing you guys down a little bit, but this is my newest release, and I got to play the stuff I'm out there kind of promoting. And this song comes from a real place too. My parents got divorced when I was 14. I have a twin sister, and we kind of went through this time in our lives that doesn't go away, and that's where this song kind of started, I guess, or I reflected to. But it really, I started writing it when one of my good friends was going through divorce too. And the funny thing is I wrote this song, and then I showed it to one of my buddies, a songwriting buddy. He lives in Utah. His name is Brent Turner. And I showed it to him, and he's like, dude, no. You do not show that song to anybody. It's too one-sided. The choruses are great. Let me help you write the verses. So he came, we got together, and we wrote it, and it came out like this. I remember the night that they set me down, told me about the plans they had all worked out, danced around the truth, said they need a brand new start, promised me that this would be the hardest part, but it's not the lonely, it's not the empty. Oh, the memory of him leaving, and God knows he's got his reasons. I'm in the backseat, out the window of the SUV, waving goodbye, trying not to cry on this brand new street. No, the hardest part is knowing that I only get to see him every other weekend. Dreading the night we had to sit them down, tell them about my plans, I have to move across town. Oh, it broke my heart to go and have to break their hearts, 'cause deep down I know this wouldn't be the hardest part, 'cause it's not the lonely, it's not the empty. Oh, the memory of her leaving, God knows she's got her reasons. It's in the backseat, out the window of the SUV, waving goodbye, trying not to cry on this brand new street. No, the hardest part is knowing that I only get to see them every other weekend. Every other weekend, and every other holiday. No, it's not the lonely, it's not the empty. Oh, the memory of her leaving, God knows she's got her every other weekend. Every other weekend. Every other. Thank you.
What a tune, man, what a tune. We want to let you guys go to enjoy some refreshing at the bar, but I want to say one thing real quick. This is a special thing I'm going to say. We all know we've come out of a really hard weekend, so to tell y'all the truth about how I found out about the floods, I'd gone to bed the night before completely oblivious, like a lot of us did, heard a lot of rain, but didn't really think anything was going on. Well, I had been texting our friend and SongwriterTX alum, Julia Hatfield. Were any of y'all at the Julia Hatfield Owen Temple show? It was about a year ago. So she is a phenomenal songwriter and musician, a dear friend of mine, and always working hard to bring her tunes to the world. Well, her and her husband Jake, they live on in a fifth wheel camper on the Guadalupe River, in a place right near Ingram, and it is gone, completely gone. So I woke up, I was talking to her the night before on text messages about doing a show together, and I woke up and had a text message from her that said, my house is gone, I had 10 minutes to get out. I had no idea anything had even happened, and that's how I started looking into, like, oh wow, there was a flood. I didn't even know what had hit. Julia is living here in Fredericksburg now with her parents, who are Gillespie County residents. Her and Jake are homed up with them, and she still has her music stuff because it was in her car. But she described to me later in that morning that she watched her neighbors get washed away, and she got to get out. But she had there was a little boy that was in the camper nearby to them that she saw floating down the river, screaming, and they couldn't get to him. They ended up rescuing that boy, thank God. But those were the kind of images she had that she was living on Friday morning as I was snoozing through the rainstorm. So I'm not trying to do too much tugging on the heartstrings, and we're still going to do tip outs for our musicians tonight. But I wanted to offer, if anybody would be interested in taking a special collection for Julia. She's been a dear alum of SongwriterTX. She's actually been on the show twice. And they had to go to Walmart on Friday and get clothes because they had nothing. And she doesn't know that I'm doing this. I was hoping I could just give her a gift from our SongwriterTX audience to say thank you for the music. We'd like to help you get back on your feet. So I'm just going to give you all that opportunity tonight. And if you don't have it, that's totally fine too. We're still going to do the tip guitar case for Jessee and Weston. But there's this extra little tip that Jessee Lee gave her a little it's much cuter tip jar over here. And if during the intermission or any time during the show y'all have anything special that y'all could gift to Julia, whatever it would be, I would just like to be able to present that to her from SongwriterTX and say, Julia, we love you. We're sorry you lost everything. We'd love to just help however we can to get you back on your feet. So I'm giving y'all that opportunity tonight. Take it however you will. But I just wanted to pitch that out to you guys to give a little bit of love to Julia and Jake for what they lost here in the flood. She probably wouldn't accept it if I had told her about this, so that's part of why we're doing it the way we are. But we just want to give her that gift. So y'all do a little bit of intermission, please. Get a little rest. Stretch your legs. Get another drink, and we'll see you back here in about 10, 15 minutes. Okay.